So, believe me, we had already reached out to my next guest here to get her onto the program and talk just about that. For those of you who don't know what's going on, Clockboy is back, and Clockboy is suing. So let me bring on my guest, Loretta Powers, and she is a native of North Texas. She earned a Juris Doctorate from what is now Texas A&M School of Law in Fort Worth. Loretta also holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in economics from the University of North Texas. She is with the law offices of Tim Powers up that way. Loretta, welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show. Loretta, can you hear me? I don't think. Well, you know what? Why don't we try giving her a call back? And I'll let. You got her? Hey, Loretta, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Excellent, excellent. You know, the cell coverage is always tough, folks. So, for those of you who don't remember what's going on with Clockboy, according to certain engineers, dismantled a clock that you buy from Walmart, took the innards out, put it into a metal case, and took it to school and said, "Look what I built." Okay. That's not me saying that that's definitive, but that's what some engineers had written that he had done, and it was done to elicit the reaction that it got, which was to put people on pins and needles. And when they reacted so the family could claim discrimination. So right now, then Clockboy left racist America and hate-filled America for Qatar. And now he's back in racist, hate-filled America for some unknown reason. I think now we know why he's back. Loretta, he's suing... among other folks, the Blaze, the mayor of Irving up there in North Texas. On what premise is he suing?
Well, your listeners are very intelligent, and you don't need a lawyer to tell you that this lawsuit is just ridiculous. He's basically trying to claim that he has damages, that these commentators dragged his name through the mud and subjected him to ridicule, and that's just not true. Because a situation happened, and on one side of the spectrum, President Obama said it was a very cool clock and invited him to the White House. I don't think he's going to be able to show damages for this lawsuit.
So, no, okay, yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. So, in essence, if I get out there and I say, well, it looked to me like this, like I said, I gave my opinion, and I said it looked to me that this family was trying to elicit a response and get a response so they could point the finger and call people here in North Texas a bunch of Islamophobes. And that's my opinion. I'm not offering any proof of that. That's just the way it smells and looks to me. Now Clockboy wants to sue people for having an opinion. Is there a legal basis, according to anything that you've encountered in the rule of law, that would leave anybody open to for liability for expressing an opinion?
No, there is no legal leg to stand on for expressing your opinion. If that were the case, then our court docket would be 10 years long for a case to get settled.
Yeah. Okay. So is there any? You've looked over the case, I'm assuming, and can you see any merit whatsoever that they may have any type of damages coming their way, either from the city of Irving, from the mayor's office that way, or from any of the media folks that he has named in his lawsuit? And then that's part one. Part two is why is he naming so many folks in his lawsuit?
Well, to answer your second question, that's very common in these types of lawsuits. You basically throw the kitchen sink at everything. You find as many co-defendants, co-plaintiffs as you can, and you just sue everybody. And you hope that one person is going to settle. Chris, I hope that nobody ever sues you for your opinion, because you're going to have to sit down and make a really tough decision. Do I spend 2 years out of my life fighting this and $100,000 for attorney's fees? Or do I make it go away now by settling it for half the price?
See, I remember, Loretta, when I was doing news out in San Diego, there was a shakedown artist out that way that was found out by local news that he was using the Americans with Disabilities Act, and he was going around to business after business after business after business saying, hey, there's no wheelchair ramp there. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. And basically these people were so scared out of their mind, they say he didn't want the ramp. He just wanted their money. He says, well, I'm going to sue you for $150,000, but I'll take $25,000 and I'll go away.
Right. And a lot of times it's easier to do it that way.
Oh, and that's so wrong. That is such an abuse of the system.
It is. And it's funny how this lawsuit came 5 days after Glenn Beck had settled a lawsuit of his own.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, so you're thinking that maybe they smelled blood in the water, as it were?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then that begs the question, what legal recourse? And by the way, we're talking to Loretta Powers, folks, from the Tim Powers law firm. What about frivolous lawsuits? Can you? I mean, in a case like this where you're suing somebody for their opinion, you would think it would be relatively easy to say, man, you can't sue me for my opinion. I have an opinion just like everybody else. You can't sue me for my First Amendment right. And can you see a judge rewarding damages and lawyers' fees to the defendants in this case?
Yes, and that happens a lot. There are these things called sanctions, which the attorneys also get slapped with if they bring these frivolous lawsuits. It's basically the court's way of saying you cannot use us to justify your own means.
Yeah. Okay.
We have laws in place.
Well, now that you've seen how these folks are approaching this, what's your take? I mean, is there a good shot that these defendants will have to get damages paid back to them from Clockboy's attorneys and whoever's bankrolling this whole thing?
I think that he's probably going to get countersued. Like the Clockboy will also be sued by these defendants, and they'll end up just canceling out the lawsuits together. I think this was a way for him to kind of extend his 15 minutes of fame, to be honest.
Okay, well, all right. Well, that's definitely doable too. We know this family has a history of doing that kind of thing. Loretta Powers, native of North Texas, folks, and she is one of the legal eagles here on the Chris Salcedo Show. The law firm Tim Powers up there in North Texas. Thank you, lady. Appreciate the time.
Thank you, Chris.
You betcha. All right, 281-558-57.